Good morning and Happy New Year to you all. Delighted to be back with our live sessions for 2021. And this morning we're going to tackle the topic of home organisation and storage. Now, what I planned for this month was to talk about storage. You know, January's a brilliant time of year to get organised, to declutter, to get rid of all the stuff that's come into the house over the holiday season. But now, especially because of these new restrictions, which means that, you know, those of us who are working from home, dare I say it, homeschooling is going to start again on Monday. You know, everybody's going to be in the house all the time again. So it's so important that we find ways to keep things as organised as possible, just so everybody can find what they need when they need it, and hopefully reduce a little bit of stress. So I'm absolutely delighted to say that Olive DOnovan has very kindly agreed to come back and chat to us this morning. She just has the most amazing range of products. I don't know if any of you have been watching the Home Edit on Netflix, which is just fantastic, but Olive has all of those products as well. So she's going to be running through all the clever little solutions that are out there that you can just use to hopefully make things a little bit easier, regardless of how much space you have or what your storage dilemma is. And actually what we're going to do, just because of what's happened today, what we're going to focus on is more about dealing with the Christmas stuff, you know, how to organise it, how to put it away so that it's easy to put back up again, to find and to take down. We're going to be focusing on working from home, you know, home office solutions, any kind of tips for people who have to use a space that needs to multitask, needs to be flexible. And we'll also be focusing on kids storage, toy storage. I'm sure there's lots of that needs to be tackled now after Christmas, but as well just creating study spaces for kids of all ages, just to help them transition a little bit easier and make it a bit easier for them to do all their schoolwork and stuff while they're at home. So I'm going to invite Olive now to join me. Hi Olive, good morning. How are
Hi,
you?
hi Denise, and a happy new year to you.
You too, you too. Lovely to see you this morning.
Thank you.
No, so I was just saying in the intro, you know, it's just so important now with these new restrictions, getting organised at home. It does make such a difference, you know, I actually was watching one of the Home Edit episodes last night, and
It's great, isn't it? Addictive.
it is addictive,
Yeah.
but the products are so clever, and, you know, it is all about having a system so that you know where things are when you need them, because especially when you're at home, I know myself, it's been very difficult trying to work from home and trying to create those boundaries, transition between cooking dinners, looking after the kids, working, everything just bleeds into one. But at least if you have systems, if you understand where things are, you know something is where you need it to be, when you need it to be there, it just makes things so much easier than having to run around and find stuff. It just eats up so much of your time.
No, I totally agree with you, and I'm sure that all the people listening in can relate to everything that you've just said. And what a great way to start the new year by talking about getting our house in order, particularly now where we're yet again faced with another shutdown. And you know, my sympathies goes to all those people who, you know, like yourselves, working from home, have children, young children, children getting ready for junior cert, for leaving cert. It's incredibly challenging. The most important thing is to keep positive. It's really important for the children that you're focused on their happiness, their sanity, as well as your own sanity. So if we can cover any topics today that can help create a little bit of order, a little bit of structure, a little bit of routine, then you know we're delighted to be able to do that.
No, it's wonderful. It is wonderful. And I know myself, but look, you know, I love storage. I love decluttering. I love all that
Yeah.
stuff. But there is such a sense of, I don't know, it just sort of clears your mind as well. Once you feel one area is dealt with and tackled with, and, you know, you'll see on Instagram, like so many people are running these challenges and daily tips and things like that. And I think that's a way to make it easy, is just to tackle it one little bit at a time, you know.
That's so true. I think people can get overwhelmed.
Totally.
And the secret is, and like these challenges, which are fantastic, just to give one simple task, whether it's just to clear out that clutter drawer or to organize the shoes or, you know, to organize the paperwork. It's just one challenge. It can take maybe half an hour to an hour to set it aside. But the difference it makes to you personally, I know I operate very well in a clutter-free zone. My kids and my husband laugh at me because they'll say, Mum, you know where absolutely everything is. And you know, my view is if you've got a place for everything and everything in the space, I know it's been said over and over again, it really does make a difference. And then to try and have that mantra through the house that everybody knows when they're finished with the cookery, or they're finished with the school books, or they're finished with the toys, where it goes back to. And by creating a structure in place and have products to assist you to do that, not expensive, not complicated, very easy to achieve, certainly in our business, the Organised Store, it really, really does make a difference.
Oh no, 100%, 100%. Well, I was explaining in the intro how we were going to structure it. So should we just tackle maybe the Christmas?
I know.
Store. I will confess, I did take my stuff down a bit early because I just said, right, that's it. With everybody in the house, so many people coming through. But, you know, I can see around here, there's still lots of people with Christmas decorations up. But I know it can be, like, especially Christmas lights and things like that, Olive. So you've sent me some amazing photos, which I might just pull up because it helps to sort of
sure. Well, as you can see here, I still haven't put my Christmas decorations, and it's the first thing I'm going to do after our lovely coffee chat this morning, and I'm actually really looking forward to, because they're ready to go. You know, it's really great putting the Christmas decorations up, but it's nearly even better taking them down and putting them away. So the thing is, like that with Christmas decorations, there's a lot, isn't there? You've got to figure out what it is you have, and more importantly, where you're going to store it. You know, if you're fortunate enough to have a garage, then it's great. You need to make sure that you've got good, solid, you know, containers that can be sealed from damp and from dust, preferably ones that you can stack on top of each other. And then, of course, if you're storing it in the attic, the one thing I would say is make sure that you're not getting a really big or too many big boxes, because you've got to be able to get it up there safely and take it down safely. So for me, I would think it's about looking at all the various components, from the baubles, and I'll talk about those, if you wouldn't mind leaving that picture up for a second, but the baubles to the wreaths, to the garland or garlands, to the Christmas tree, if you have an artificial tree. Obviously, with our natural trees, we're bringing them to the recycling centre now. So it's look at all those various components and how is the best way to store them. And let's face it, Christmas decorations, they are for life. They last a long time. We invest a lot of time in them, and sometimes they're very, very personal and very emotional to us. And so it's important maybe now, if people are like me today, taking down the decorations, to maybe invest in good structures, a good structure and products to store them in, so that they're safe and that you can find them easily next year. How many times we've gone to the attic and there's the tree, but where's the stand? You know,
exactly, Olive. And also, like, they're expensive. You know, they often are quite expensive. So, you know, I've done it myself, where I've totally forgotten about a load of decorations that I had, gone out and bought more. And then the next year you discover you've got all this stuff, and it is crazy. You know, you can actually waste an awful lot of money.
Well, actually, on that point, then now is a good time to maybe look at the Christmas decorations you didn't use this year, or you didn't use the last 2 years. And unless there's an emotional connection to them, maybe now is a time to say thank you, and it's time to maybe go to a better home. So maybe looking at this Christmas day, what's left over in the box that you haven't used, and as if you forgot about it, or really it doesn't really suit the, you know, what your house is now, what you're about. Maybe you've moved on, the children got a bit older, so maybe it's time maybe to move on with those decorations. And once you've done that culling, then it's looking at what you've left, and things like the baubles. You know, I find the baubles they're beautiful, aren't they? And sometimes they're made out of glass, out of crystal, out of wood. Sometimes there's an emotional connection to them. I still have my kids who are 19 and 21 first decoration that they got from their aunt, still on the tree here, and the first decoration they made for me. So, you know, these are very personal and emotional. So it is worth putting them in good, expensive, not expensive, sorry, inexpensive, but good, solid structures that they are protected. And these boxes are great. We have those, and you can get them, I know, in lots of stores around Ireland. Well, this particular one is great because you can buy the trays separately. These are multifunctional through the years, but buy the trays and you pop them into these solid containers with the solid lid. They're not too big, so they're easy to get up to the attic or to the storage area and get back down again. And you can customize it, because some people have more than one tree. You can have it color coded. You can have, you know, the decorations of one that are the personal emotion ones, and the other that are the whites or the golds or the reds or whatever it is. So I just love these, and they're not expensive to invest in.
Fabulous. So these trays, you can buy them independently. You don't have to buy the box as well. So
Absolutely.
you work with your own storage boxes that you make.
Yes, and that's a great thing about it. With the multifunction, we've used them through the year. Customers buy them to store cables in, the plugs in, the Lego toys in. So the multifunction, you can put them into any box that you currently have as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, I have an attic full of these boxes filled with Lego. Both of my kids are mad into it, but they've passed
All
that
right.
stage now. So
All right.
yeah,
We'll talk about
maybe
Lego later on when we
we
do
will. Yeah,
the toy
but
storage. Yeah.
I think the point that you made though about culling is so important because you may
Yeah.
have an attic full of boxes like this that are filled with things that you no longer need. So
Yeah.
you don't necessarily even have to go out and buy new boxes. Maybe
Yeah.
it's the case of investing in these.
It's funny, and Denise, people think spring cleaning is the time you spring clean. I've always found our business is incredibly busy in January because this is the time where we're putting the decorations back to the garage, the attic store, and then we're going, actually, that's something I don't need anymore. That's something I don't need anymore. So this is a really good time, mum and dad now maybe at home, after holiday period, still at home, perhaps working, to put a little bit of time into taking that time to clear out your Christmas decorations or maybe old toys that are up there that you're not going to use anymore that could be donated to a better home or to a charity or, so this is a time maybe to put a little bit of time into that.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Brilliant, wonderful. And then you've got so many others. I'll pop some more up. So
Yeah.
this is brilliant. So
Another decorative box. I love that because that's what I actually use myself. Because when you take the decorations out, that actually can stay under the tree because it becomes part of the
maybe
Christmas tree itself. But it's also flat pack, so if you don't have space, you can condense it and flat pack it and store it away neatly someplace close by as well. But these boxes, they're very, very clever. We sell them. Other retailers I know sell them as well. But it's just a way of giving your precious Christmas decoration its own home and that it's safe and easy to find.
yeah, and with these pretty boxes, if you don't have space, if you don't have attic space or garage space, you can find a way to leave them even on display.
Yeah, top of the wardrobe. Wouldn't it look
Yeah,
lovely in the kids' top
exactly.
of the wardrobe? Yeah, and
Yeah,
part of a
yeah,
storage solution. So
yeah.
exactly, yeah,
Very nice. And just
yeah.
a question there, where do you get the boxes? So Olive, your store, the Organised Store.
Organisedstore.ie. I need to make sure that that particular box is up online, but you can see if you go into boxes and under decorative boxes, you'll see a wide, vast range of boxes in there. And under storage boxes, you'll see the trays and the various containers we spoke about earlier on, organisedstore.ie.
Wonderful. Very
Yeah.
good. Okay, great. And then, so
But
just
this,
the, but
I,
so yeah.
Yeah, I thought this is important because, again, some people come into us and they think, I have so many Christmas decorations on a really big box. We generally say no, because a really big box means you're going to fill it with everything. It's going to be really heavy to lift. So lots of separate boxes are a better way to go. The garland in one, the wreath in another, the various Christmas accessories, the Santa Claus, the stars, the decorations that go around the house in another. And that just makes it easier, first of all, most importantly, for you to store it, that they can stack and touch, on top of each other. The fact they're visible means that when it calls to hand, today's the day to put up the garland. I can take the garland box down and I can put that away. So just having maybe various sizes of boxes are better than one big, large box that everything goes into. Also, I talk about the Christmas tree is another one as well, which is probably one of the biggest items to store. We've always managed to store our Christmas tree in the box that it comes in because they're designed to transport those trees from wherever they come from across the world into a very tight space. So generally we keep that, and I always keep the amp with it. Make sure obviously it's unplugged, and also But if you are putting it into, I think there's an image there of a big storage box. You could also store it in a larger image of something like this as well. And if you're doing that, maybe store the stand with it, maybe store the Christmas skirt with it, make sure the amp is stored in its own box, unplugged safely with it as well. So these are ways to make sure that next year when you come to start your Christmas decorations, everything is all together, and it makes it an awful lot easier as well. Obviously, Christmas lights are another thing. I think the tea lights that we've all used at Christmas are kind of useful all year round, aren't they? I don't know whether we need to put them into storage, but if you are putting anything like that into storage and electrical, please make sure to take out the battery. That's very, very important. If the battery is no longer in use, obviously make sure to bring it to your local registered recycling site. But if not, put it in a box saying still in use, and use it for gosh, how many toys with AAA batteries do we need to use after Christmas time? So that's quite important as well.
Very good. Okay, fabulous. Oh, that's great. And then the other thing, of course, is wrapping paper.
Yeah, wrapping paper.
And even for birthdays and stuff. And I know these things get put all over the place in the house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
this is a great idea, keeping it safe, and
it
even so
is.
safely be stacked on top. But
Yeah, we actually have some
interesting.
really clever products that I need to make sure they're still in that I didn't put on this image. But I agree with you. Like the tea lights and the candles, these are things that we use all year round, aren't they? It's not something that we necessarily need to put away. I know I'm guilty this year. I bought far too much Christmas wrapping. I have a load of it left over. But I always have wrapping for, the birthday presents, the weddings, the thank you teacher present or friend present. So it's something that we probably should have close to hand all year round. Then finding a way to store it. And I generally, in my case, I store everything together. So in that box, I also have the scissors, I also have the ribbon, I also have the sellotape. So I'm not scurrying all over the house, for these locations, to try and keep it all in one location, just to make life a little bit easier for you. So one way of doing it is, a product like this, which is long and can easily store your boxes. And that can tuck under the bed, it can tuck behind the door, it can tuck at the top of the wardrobe. So it's accessible to you.
Yeah, and then this is a great solution as well.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm partial to our Alpha shelving system, and we've
Mm.
talked about this behind the door solution before. It's just such a fabulous, clever product. You can attach to the back of a door, you can attach it to a wall. Each of those baskets you can buy individually. They pop up and down. You decide where you want to use it, and then you have a way of storing these long, awkward, long cylinders of wrapping paper all in one place. We've used this, for behind in the pantry for all your various oils. We've used it in the laundry room to store the extra laundry solutions. We've used it in wardrobes. We've used it in kids' play space. It's such a diversified product, and it's not expensive. It's only around 140, 150 euros, depending on what you're putting into it. And again, it's customizable. You can look at it. It's on our website as well. But it's part of the Alpha shelving system. If you watched actually that fantastic program, Get Organised with the Home Edit, you would have seen them use a system like this a few times on the show as well.
Yeah, no, it's wonderful. And I just love the fact that it's so versatile. You can customize it to suit any space, any need. So, it's something that can move around the house, it can move with you. It's just a brilliant product. Really, really great.
A really clever way of look. Very little space is used, no depth. I think it's
Yeah.
only 24 centimeters in width, and yet look at how much storage you got for it, and not expensive to achieve. So everybody must have a door somewhere, whether all that's just blank, not being used. So if you are compromised by space, if you are thinking of how can I add space to my house, maybe this is an area for you to look in. It may not even attach to the door, it can sit in the little alcove behind the door. So just maybe looking at your house a little bit differently to see, are there better ways, and are there areas like you can maximize and give yourself more storage space?
Definitely. Yeah, no, it's wonderful because those are questions we get asked all the time, ways of tackling these kind of issues when you are tight on space. Maybe it's apartments, maybe just literally running out of space. But there's so many solutions like this that you have that like maximize tiny little corners that would otherwise not be used. So it's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you very much, Denise. Another thing I must say before I go any further, because I was talking to my mother and father last night, and I'm so impressed. They've all their decorations away, and my father said to me, he said, "Actually, I put all the boxes down, and I couldn't remember what went where." And I can relate to that. What box did I put that in? So it's a good idea that if you are putting items away this year, if you want to be super, super organized, you could get labels and, do the whole Pinterest label thing on it and go, this box is the garlands, this is, the, or when you're taking them down next year, I always take a photograph of the box. I open it up and take a photograph of what's inside it. And a couple of weeks later, I'm able to refer to that photograph to say, okay, that's what I had in that box and this is where I stored it. Just time management, and it just takes a little bit of stress out of when you're restoring and your Christmas decorations again.
Yeah, super idea. No, it's brilliant. Absolutely wonderful. Fabulous. But look, I think the next thing we'll move on to that comes with Christmas is lots of toys for a lot of people who have little ones in the house. And then you've got this issue, my goodness, where do we put all this stuff, especially if you're tight for space? So I loved this picture. Well, you can't see these two little ones, but like so a unit like this again is so versatile.
Yeah, I mean, like that. Yeah, like that Christmas. I mean, it is about toys, isn't it? I mean, we missed that in our house this year with my older ones, but I still managed to get them some toys. I couldn't resist it. And with the toys comes noise and clutter and tidying up. So look, this again is part of our Alpha shelving system. Again, you would have seen this feature in the Home Edit show. Super, super product. It's a freestanding basket frame. It comes in various heights, sizes, and dimensions. Multifunctional. You can use it, as here you can see it in the playroom, in the craft room. You can use it, people have used it into the bottom of the wardrobe to create extra storage space, in that gap that, is empty, whether it's for storing your clothes or your shoes or your accessories. They've used it in, obviously it's fantastic in office spaces, it's in craft room spaces. So multifunctional, and it's just a very simple solution to help store everything away, but also that everything is visible and that you can see everything, so it makes it easier to access as well.
And so important for kids. I mean, it's like I found myself, anytime we do tackle, particularly my younger son, his room and tidy everything away, there's this whole discovery of stuff he'd completely forgotten about just because he couldn't see it. It was out of sight, out of mind. So especially now when you're looking for things to do with kids,
Sure.
by rediscovering all these things, simply by just organizing them, making them visible, making them accessible,
Yeah.
it's fantastic. It's
I
really,
agree.
really wonderful.
I used to find that when the kids at that age that, everything was chaos all over the place. They didn't enjoy the toys as much. But when you had it, and this is a great example of a room where, and you don't need lots of very expensive boxes. My goodness, these are fabulous boxes, and one box for each item. So one, was for maybe the cars, one for the books, one for the dolls, one for the Lego, So once they knew what was where, it was easy. Just had to take that box out. It's not too heavy for them to carry as well. But most importantly, that they know, this is a great box as well. It's like the one I showed you earlier. You can buy the box, but you can buy these inserts separately, so you can customize it according to the storage requirements, whether it's the beads, the accessories, the Lego again, the lots of bits and bobs. So it's just about thinking clever and really looking at kids' spaces and making it easier for them. Also, talking about culling, now is probably a good time with all these new toys that come into the house, is maybe looking at the toys that hasn't been used in the last 2 or 3 years. Maybe it's time to say, well, maybe the kids have now got to a certain age that they're not playing with that type of toy anymore. And maybe it can go to a better home. If it's an electrical toy, again, reminding you to take out the batteries. But maybe it can be donated to somebody that's close to you that will get better use out of this. We used to, in the past, donate it to the local hospitals. I don't think, certainly in the current environment, you can do that, but maybe a local crash and you can sanitize and give it to them. Or if it's emotional to you, I know we still hold on to our son Jack's first gift he got from his granddad, which was a wooden train station, and these wooden little trains used to go around, and oh my goodness. So we kept that because it's so personal, and hopefully that'll go on for generations. And I know we kept Lego as well. So if there are elements that you can't let go, but it's not being used, maybe now is a good time to invest in some of these boxes and put it into, as you said, storage into the attic, that may be used again in future years.
Yeah, no, definitely. And get the kids involved. Like I know that getting rid of toys for some can be really difficult, but like it is time. I think it's a fabulous time just to sort of reorganize and take stock. And then again, like with the Christmas decorations, you have some really pretty boxes, that are great. Then that can be on display and.
Yeah. I mean, the toys is about, it's as personal to the kids, but also it's about, making it fun, making it, comfortable for them. A lot of cases it might be stored in their bedroom as well as in a toy room. I mean, these great big boxes are great, because, God, how many times you come into the room and there's all this stuff in the room. So to get the really big things like the big teddy bears, the big, car, the big tractor, you can straight away easily put it into something like this. But more importantly, as you say, get the children involved in it. It's tidy up time, kids. Let's, pop everything back into the box as well. So big storage like this are good for really big products and bulky products you can just dump in there. I wouldn't be putting small items in there because they'll just get lost. It'll be a nuisance. And then the smaller boxes that we were looking at earlier on, they're for more the smaller items, the more, the items we spoke about. And it makes it easier for kids then to get involved in that process because they know, X amount, the books go into that box, the trains go into that box, the shoes, the cars go into that box, and the big bulky items just chuck it in there. And how much fun do they have on doing it the next day and pulling it all out and putting it all over the floor again? But, that's part of the process. Yeah.
No, completely. But also I would always say this to people: make as much of their stuff accessible for them, because that way then they're not constantly calling you to ask you to get stuff, to help them. So it does, it makes them a little bit more independent, frees up a little bit of time for you too. So all of these things help so much with a smoother day to day.
Well, I know with my kids, and they're older now, and I'll say to you, I don't know how many customers I said in the store, start training them now. Get them in the process of taking responsibility for their own space. Make it easy for them by creating the space, creating the place to put everything back into. It's not expensive. It doesn't take a lot of time. Once the structure is in place, it will make your life and their life in an area now that is quite, challenging, time where we're all at home, an awful lot easier.
Sure, absolutely. And then we mentioned Lego. So these are just ingenious. So are
Do you
these
know,
made by Lego? These are
Lego company, yeah, in
really
Denmark. And the great thing is that we've had these the Lego storage containers for quite a while. And but this year they brought out these drawers. Aren't they fantastic? Because the other ones we've
amazing.
got the head, and you've got, the box that you take it off, and you've got a 1 brick, a 2 brick, a 4 brick, an 8 brick, and you can stack them all on top of each other. So great, because it makes the kids take responsibility for, the toy is part, the storage is part of look at it there, that the storage is part of the game as well. So it helps and encourage them to store them back again. But the drawers are great because you're opening them out, and they're multifunctional. You can, they're not just for toys, they're for mum and dad's toys as well. You can accessorize your batteries in them, you can put your bits and
Absolutely.
bobs in them, and they're kind of iconic, aren't they? And this is one of our craft boxes,
Oh, that's
actually.
different. I was wondering, was that a Lego box? 'Cause I thought this is ingenious. This has so many
Yeah.
uses, from kids stuff to adult stuff to anybody's stuff.
Yeah,
Great.
yeah, it's super popular. That product, again, everything we store in our shop is multifunctional, but it has become very popular for Lego storage. Because when we meet our Lego fans or customers, invariably they don't just have one Lego; they've a Lego,
Oh
and are
yeah.
very committed to it. And Lego, a little bit like the Christmas decorations we spoke about earlier on, it lasts a lifetime. They're made of such solid, hard plastic that they really do last a long time. So it is worth investing in good storage
Mm.
to put them away. Because I know, like the train set, our Lego is in the attic. It's something I couldn't let go of, because we got years and years of enjoyment of it, and it'll be used, please God, for future generations. And it doesn't change. It's still, it's
Yeah.
still such a learning tool as well as it being a play tool. So this particular item is great. It's a separate drawer on top, a separate section, and people have used it because Lego comes with so many accessories now, doesn't it? It comes with cars, and it comes with little men, little people,
Mm.
so you can put those on the top, and the bricks on the bottom, or vice versa, whichever way actually your child chooses. And maybe ask them how they would like to
Yeah.
organize the Lego. Do they want to organize it like the rainbow structure that's talked about on the home edit that they're very fond of? Do they want to organize it by colors? Do they want to organize it by type?
Usage.
Involve them in the process of how do they want to store their toys, their Lego, and that makes them more committed and more involved in the
Mm.
process.
No, it's fabulous. And then I have to share this, Olive. Oh, well, I might share this again. I don't know. It's
Severally.
stuff. But this is where those storage bricks have formed the sides and support for a glass top for a desk.
Absolutely. And one of
So,
our customers did something similar to this.
so
And again, you're just buying the drawers, and you're just stacking them up one on top of each other. And then you've got these sides where they can open, have got storage. And then you just buy a piece of glass. We know how to do that. You get a glass or a piece of wood, or maybe you already have something, pop it on top. And now you've got a desk, a study desk, but also really convenient storage to it as well. And because they're really strong, they're very, very sturdy, and they will last. So couldn't help but share that photograph. I thought it was really clever.
amazing. No, it's brilliant, brilliant. And I suppose then, so that would lead us on then quite nicely to the study space. And everybody now who's trying to gear up and get their head around homeschooling and all of this. And,
Yeah.
kids of all ages, it's going to help them so much the more organized they are. And mum and dad too, take a little bit of the pressure off. If
Yeah.
everything they need is there, it's easy to get at. So you've some great, and actually the link is very strong with the home office, working from home. So I'll just share some of these, like this one, for example. Again, is this your alpha system?
This is our alpha system, but I suppose the idea here is to say to people that, look, gosh, what can you say? You're at home, you've got the kids at home once again, and it is challenging, but hopefully we'll be all see the end of this very, very soon. So no matter what age the child is, because we're going to be talking about children that are maybe Montessori age to junior school age to secondary school age, it's important that they have a place. That they know when it is study time, whether they're doing it by Zoom or however they're doing it, they know that there is a place that is their destination place, that is the study space. As the children get older, then that the space may be in a separate room, it may be in their bedroom. So it's showing them how it's important to have not just a space, but have that space organized where everything is easily accessible. These are our alpha shelving system. Again, if you look at a super system, you can go as big as you can small of it. Some people, we've only done the 60 centimeters, some we've done 1.2, some we've done the whole alcove, the whole wall. You can add to it, you can take away from it. I thought this was interesting, more in reference to, the people, to maybe one or two in the family are working from home, or maybe one is working from home and a student is working from home, that you can have multiple study space in a very confined space. And again, lots of storage. It's looking at your wall space. Maybe people already have the desk, but maybe they can look at how you can utilize that wall over the desk and create more storage. And again, it's by using various products such as these fabulous big zip boxes, etc., to store away items as well, and to make sure that the desk space is clear, and therefore maybe the mind is a little bit clear when everything is a little bit more organized.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think that's it. You know, what I love about that is everything that you could possibly need is going to be there where you need it to be. So there's, you know, I know with kids, like the trying to keep them sitting at their desk and focused for any period of time is a challenge. So if they're constantly running around trying to look for a pencil or a sharpener or whatever it is they need, that's just going to be so disruptive. So yeah, even like that central section there with the little drawers, having even investing in something like that, so that sits wherever they're sitting, and everything they need can almost be brought around with them. Do some of them come on little wheels and stuff?
Yes, yeah, I think I shared that in one of the images there. Again, the basket system that the freestanding frames basket system that we spoke about earlier on with the two lovely little girls, in the kind of, it's the exact same system. So that particular one is attached to the whole Elva system there, but you can also, there you go, you can also get something like this. You can get it much smaller. You can get it as low that it sits under your desk, and you can get it on wheels. It can just pop out. As you said, you've got your paper, you've got your pens, you've got your biros, everything that you need to hand, and it simply can wheel back in again, or it can just stay in place. Again, not terribly expensive, very hard wearing, durable, multifunctional. You know, when your time is up, you can use it someplace else in the house. So again, it's just about thinking about how you can make this a little bit easier and have everything to hand. So it just takes a little bit of stress off them, but more importantly of you as parents.
Fantastic. No, wonderful, brilliant. And then there was some, these here, which, well, I'll share these on if that's okay.
That's okay. I will. I'll take
systems for storing scissors and glue, everything. Like, they're just brilliant, I thought. Really pretty as well.
I don't know if you can show the image of the rainbow color scheme there, but anybody who, there you go, anybody who watched, you know, Get Organised with Clea and Joanna from the Home Edit series on Netflix will know all about these carousels, because all of our customers, the minute we told them that we had them, so I should just say that actually we're delighted to announce that we're the exclusive retailer for the Home Edit range in Ireland, and we've already got these products have arrived in store literally just before Christmas, so they are available online now, and we will be bringing more of the range in. But these carousels are fantastic, again, multifunctional. They, you know, they've been used in the pantry, they've been used in the cupboard, but they used it a lot actually in the creche space, in the creative space, in the artistic space, in the office space. And here you can see it, there's little sections in it, so you decide how to use the sections. And here you can see they've used it for artwork, for the crayons, for the markers, for Ireland we call them biros, etc. So you use how to use it, and the carousel turns around, so it's a really clever way of utilising space, particularly press space, and makes it easier accessible. And they've done it according to this rainbow colour scheme that they use. You decide how you want to store it, but you know, it's not a bad way to accessorise either. But yeah, really, really clever products. There's lots of different sizes. They're all available on our website. If you go in under, actually the banner on our website has the Home Edit in it. If you click on it, you'll see the full range of not just the Home Edit range, but the iDesign range, which are part of which have designed these. And they've got, you know, carousels from 9 inches up to 22 inches, and these particular carousels as well. And, you know, as I said, they're multifunctional. You can use them in your bathroom, store your makeup.
Well, that's,
you know,
right. It'd be ideal for makeup and things like that. Oh yeah, I'm going to be spending half the morning on this now once we're done. There's so many uses, and honestly, as I keep saying, what I love is they're multi-purpose. So when kids are done with this, you can use them somewhere else. So they're investment pieces, you know.
Yeah, and you can clean them really, really easily and disinfect them, of course, in the current environment, which is so important as well.
They're fabulous. And then these I thought were great. So I know whiteboards, planners, like just invaluable. So these are whiteboards, are they can wipe them?
Yeah, I mean, we have a whole range of those. So again, if you go in under the shop, under office, there's a notice board section there, because everybody has different requirements in relation to how they plan. I just thought certainly when our kids were at the stage doing the junior cert or the leaving cert, these notice boards were really important for them, but it's really kind of more important to me to know what not just their study schedule, but also their after study schedule, whether it was soccer, whether it was, you know, whatever, singing, music. So it was important to kind of keep a routine, and particularly at the moment where everything is a little bit disturbed, routine I think is really, really important. So whether you use it for yourself or whether you use it for the kids that they're using it, it's a really good way to say Monday there's this class, that class, that class, this exam is on this day, this report has to be in this time. You know, it's a really good way of scheduling it, and there's various versions of it. So yeah, they're both magnetic and whiteboard. You can wipe clean. You can use it to attach little notes to them as well. So yeah.
No, it's really handy, because I know we've gotten the online class schedules and stuff like that, and even just to keep them used to it, because it changed certain times, classes aren't as long and stuff. So really invaluable just to have that visible and help them stay organized, which is great.
Good.
I'm so conscious of your time, and I know we got a great question, and it's one that I know a lot of people that we would have worked with, a lot of our followers have been asking about, and it was just about how to store. I'm just opening it here. The best way to store laptops, chargers that have been used frequently in the kitchen dining area need to be plugged in and easily accessible without looking messy. And you had something fabulous, but I'm not sure what it was. And I hope it's...
Yeah, it's exactly what it is. Yeah, a cable box. So a cable box. Yeah, that's the mini cable box, and there is a larger version of that that holds a 4 amp plug, or the 4 plugs together, and there's a longer version that holds an 8 one. I didn't show you the 8 one. Again, all available under Office Storage Organization in our website. Great question, because I personally hate leads. I hate seeing leads, and I have a few of these. This particular one is a mini one, so it can store on your desk right beside your laptop, so you're not looking to all those cords. As you can see, I think I might have showed another image exactly how it works, where the cables go in one end and out the other end. Very, very simple, but look at how neat it is. And they come in white and they come in black. There are other colours, but they weren't available for us at the moment, but they will be in the future. You just see the way you've got the 4 amp plugs system into it there. You just plug down, put the top, and look at it, seamless. Then there's also another one that's just come in. I don't know if you can share the image, where you can actually use it to also hold your iPad, hold your iPhone. I could have used that today, because I had to be very clever how to put this phone for this discussion. But isn't that clever? If you're doing, your chat with me, Denise, you can actually stand your phone on that. You can stand your iPad at that. For those people who are doing Zoom calls, or are doing Instagram chats like this, or your WhatsApp chats, you can have it standing there and walk around, and you can still utilize the space.
Yeah, no, I was looking for something similar, but again, I didn't want to start cluttering up. But that's great, because it's multi-purpose. So that's fabulous.
They're I think around $39.99 if I'm right in my memory for the smaller one with the stand at the top. So not a lot to invest in something, to keep your sanity and to have everything stored in one place. So I hope that answers your caller's question.
And then again, you've so many boxes, but I know what we've done here, because myself and my husband are both working from home, but we have a box that's for all our stuff. So that goes in, we put everything into it in the evening, pop it in the cupboard, and then the next day it's easy to find.
Ready to come back out again.
Something really simple solution.
Yeah. Well, even the ones we spoke about with the kids, the tray on top and the section underneath, you can look, there's so many different type of boxes we have available. It's just thinking of what suits you, where you're going to store it, what space you have, your own personal, decor taste. So there's lots of options available of that on our website. But this was one of the ones that I thought was quite clever.
No, brilliant. And then I have to share this. Well, you can't see the full thing, but just, gosh, we especially the first lockdown, got so many messages from people who literally had to sit in the junk room to work. That was the only available space. And I suppose because it was so sudden, there was no time to start tackling this as a project or take care of it. But I just loved the after image here. And again, I will share these, because they're cutting them off here. But nothing really changed here, other than investing in a lot of boxes and just organizing everything,
a place for everything, and everything in space. That's it. And it doesn't take a lot of, it might take a little bit of time, but isn't it time worth investing in? And it certainly doesn't take a lot of money. These boxes are not expensive. They come in every shape and size. We've got a lovely range inside that have A4 boxes, pencil boxes, ruler boxes. Again, they're all on our website. And we've ones for file storage, which is really, really important as well. So again, it's just thinking, what have I got to store, and how is the best way to store it? And then when it's there, you could, label the boxes to say this is X, Y, and Z. So and doesn't that, look so much, chaotic free, making it a little bit of an easier space to work in.
Definitely. Yeah, no, for sure. And then I'll just finish with this, Olive. I know this is actually to do with pantry and stuff, and we'll be chatting about this again, but are there similar labels for things like home office, or do you sell labels that people can customize? Yeah,
we've loads of different labels that you can customize. You also have the white marker, that you can write on those boxes yourself. These are, the home edit, once again, Clea and John's labels, and they're so pretty, but you can create your own ones. So we have lots of different, I better make sure that I have them on the website, like blank labels that even with chalk, you can chalk onto them. You can get whiteboard markers that you can write onto those boxes yourselves. I'm sure you all have labels at home. You may have for the kids, books, so it's simple. It doesn't have to be complicated, just as simple as that.
Yeah, no, and it does make a big difference. Absolutely makes a big difference. And look, it seems like it's a lot of work, but again, as we say, just tackle it one little bit at a time. And
Yeah.
It is
It's worth
definitely.
it. And it's lasting. Once it's done, it's done. And there's a system there, as they say. And then you know where everything goes back to, and it just makes what is at the moment an unsettling period for everybody. Just it takes a little bit of pressure off.
Definitely. No, for sure. Well, Olive, thank you so much. We're going to be
No.
back next week. You're very kindly going to come back and chat to me. And next week, what we're going to be focusing on is sort of those key areas that tend to get really messy. So things like drawers, that dreaded junk drawer that
Mm.
everybody has, you know, the kitchen, the fridge, bathrooms, all of these things, wardrobes, and just the wonderful products that are available. So
Great,
anybody
great,
interested in that, or is
great.
fancy tackling a little project over this time, definitely tune in, because as you can see, Olive is a wealth of information and tips. So
Thank
thank you
you.
so much.
No, my pleasure, Denise. Thank you very much. And Happy New Year to you and all your followers watching in today. Thank you.
Oh, and actually, Olive, your website again, just for people who are asking.
Okay, at www.organizedstore.ie.
Brilliant. And I'll put that up on story.
Organizedstore.ie.
So I'll share the
Great.
images so people can see, and I'll put the info up as well.
Great. Great. Thank you very much. And just to let you people know that we do have an email as well. If they do want to email in any storage organization dilemmas that they have, if they do want space design for the Elfa shelving, want any ideas on that, they're more than welcome to email us. We have a super team there that are currently there dealing with all the web sales at the moment. Michelle and her team are fantastic, and Nina on Elfa. So there is a team there, and myself, of course, ready to email back and to assist in any way we can.
Brilliant. Olive, thank you so much.
Not at
Okay.
all. Thanks,
All right.
Denise.
Thanks,
Cheers.
everybody. See you
Thank
next
you.
week.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. Bye bye.